Well, the biggest value is the conversations that start with people that you haven't been in the room with before. I'm privileged to have been in the room with about half of those people before, but there's new faces. And taking the conversations back and socializing them with the institutions that those individuals represent, asking for additional information, right? And then the key for that is the reconvening, coming back to the table at some point in the future and saying, you know, we identified these potential areas. For instance, one of the things we talked about today, are we making the proper investment in public safety personnel? Are we expecting people to earn the kind of salaries that these positions offer, but to have the skill sets that the public now expects from them, right? That's that whole question of professionalization, medicine, law, military arts, we talked about that. And so the key to it is take those conversations back, socialize them within institutions, and then come back together and then advance that to the next conversation. And that's where projects begin. And projects, obviously, the goal of which are to lead to resolutions. How do we get those good practices in the hands of the most people? That's where CNA and our partners at DOJ and these other institutions come in. The gap really is not in a particular area of research. It's in the necessity of research and practitioners working together to solve problems and devise solutions that can be translated across law enforcement. There's precious few people who are prepared to do this work. And beyond that, there's precious few people who can actually become police officers, right? There are a great many more people who apply to become police officers than ever will be. And our investment in that particular skill set in terms of the emotional impact of policing, the psychological impact of policing, if we don't pay special attention to the needs of the people who do this work, then the work will suffer. And the police officers are going to feel that first, but the next group of people standing behind them to feel that will be community. And when those two things begin to happen in tandem with one another, communities begin to collapse, and crime rises, and the quality of life erodes. Really, I think all of public safety turns on the health and wellness of those men and women who are prepared to do this work. And if we can keep them sound of mind and judgment, then that will inspire confidence in community. It will grow support for policing. It will grow support for organizations like CNA and the investment needed to take the research necessary forward. And out of all of that, we find ourselves in a much safer society. My colleagues aren't going to be surprised to find that I've been down having another conversation about the future. But I will again impose upon them the obligation to be innovative in their work and to look at these issues and to have the courage to use the tools that our young profession has cultivated so far, but always with an eye towards what the future holds for all of us.